Indiana softball with Amber Linton and Bella Norton. Indiana goes 4-2 in their first weekend down in Leesburg, Florida. Wins over Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Bella, I guess I'll just start with you. First of all, how nice does it feel to just be back on the softball field?
So good. I was just thinking the other day, like, if you were to ask me a year ago where I'd be right now, it would definitely not be the softball field. So I'm super excited just to be back on the dirt.
Amber, you're a freshman, and through all these sort of off-season adjustments and challenges, I guess that obviously has to be such a challenge for not only the whole team, but especially you as a freshman coming in here, new to the program. But again, it's still got to be that much better just getting back on the field finally with this team.
Yeah, it was super exciting to finally be out with this team. And since we didn't have a fall season, I was basing everything off practice, like, oh, I wonder how we're gonna do. And I knew we were gonna be good, but I was just super excited to see it play out.
And as it turns out, Indiana can be pretty good. You get wins over Minnesota, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. Bella, you come back with 4 RBIs in the first weekend, just continuing to hit in clutch positions, but also just getting runners on the bases, getting some base traffic early in these games. I mean, what can you say about this Indiana offense specifically and just sort of your guys' mindset and what you might be capable of doing this year?
So coach has been saying, like, we're 23 strong and we have a really deep bench. And I think something that's so special about this team is that I know that the person behind me is going to get their job done, whoever it may be. And there's a lot of people coming in and out of the lineup, bouncing in and out of the lineup. And you saw this weekend, whoever went in, like Brittany Ford, for example, she went in, had 2 pinch hits. Like, we are getting it done. And I just think it's so special because I don't think we've had that in any other team I've been on, where, we just have a lot of talent on the bench. And there's not one person that I don't believe in when they go in. And so I don't know. We got something special going on.
Amber, you're just a freshman, but 3 wins in 12 and a third innings pitched in this first weekend. I mean, where does that come from? How much have you been leaning on someone like Emily Gooden? And just how special is that to be able to have that sort of weekend as your first weekend as a Hoosier?
Yeah, it was super special. I knew I had confidence going in that I could pitch, and I believed in the work that Coach Bell and I had put in over off season. And Emily Gooden has always been there to help me, and I always try to pitch with her on the same mound so that she can help me and give me advice. And even like during the games, she would come up to me in between innings and help me out. And I just think that helped a lot and gave me a lot more confidence.
And I guess turning that around, Bella, not only with Amber specifically, but the other freshman who got involved in the first week, Macy Montgomery. She pitches 3 scoreless innings on Sunday against one of the best offenses in the country in Minnesota. Grace has a few RBIs. I mean, you mentioned 23 strong. These freshmen not really wasting any time getting involved here in the first weekend.
Right. I'm really proud of our freshmen. They've just been awesome. Specifically, Grace and I are sharing time behind the plate, and I'm so, like, I love watching her and I love working with her. And I think we make such a great team. And I don't know, I had such joy in watching her and bouncing off of her this weekend. Macy, another person that really just came in strong. I knew that when she was on the mound, she was going to get the job done. Same with Amber. The second she got in the mound, she has this presence about her that she's going to shut it down. And so every single time you talk about other people, you leave others out, right? Brooke did a great job. Aaliyah came in clutch a couple times. But we just have a really awesome freshman class that when they're on the field, they don't act like freshmen. And so I just think that it's a special group and they're bringing a lot to our team.
Amber, you sort of mentioned the leadership of Emily. She goes 19 strikeouts, 5 earned runs in 16 innings pitched. I mean, not only how important it is for her to set the tone, but what can this pitching staff do specifically? Because I think it's deeper than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, our pitching staff is for sure super deep. We have 6 pitchers, and all 6 of us are super strong and can get the job done. And it's really just nice to know that when I'm on the mound, that if I am struggling, that one of them will have my back and come in and finish the job for me. And yeah, it's just Emily Gooden. I never have any doubts in her. She just shows me what it is to be an Indiana Hoosier and get the job done.
This was certainly a crazy offseason for everybody, Bella, but what were you guys able to do in the time off, just in terms of maybe adjustments at the plate? I mean, we talked about the offense earlier. Desiree goes deep, Grayson, Ani Baez, they all go deep in the first weekend. I mean, this is a really talented offensive group as well. What did the offseason look like from the standpoint at the plate?
So I think that something that is really unique about this year is that we started later and we came back earlier. So we came back at the very beginning of January and we went right into 20 hours. And, you know, we didn't have a schedule for what felt like forever, right? So we were just practicing. And what was so great about that is that we had so much time to go through everything we needed to go through without any rush. Usually we would come back and we would not feel rushed, but we would only have at tops 3 weeks, maybe 4, 3.5 to before we played. And so we had a lot of time to get the reps off of live pitchers. All of our pitchers would pitch live to us. I would say the 2 weeks leading up to us actually playing, we saw live at least 3 times a week. And so we saw a lot of pitches and we had the time to do so. And so I think it is such a great thing that we were able to come back and just get through everything we needed to get through. Everybody saw their reps. Everybody had, you know, there'd be days at practice where I had 12 at bats. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of ABs, right? So I think that we really put in the time. And it just looked different this year. And I think it's really working in our favor.
No, even through one weekend, it's definitely showing. And Amber, Indiana gets its first win over Minnesota since the 2011 season. What's that going to do for your guys' confidence moving forward?
I think that definitely boosted our confidence a lot. Like, we know now that we're in it to win it. Like, we are contenders in the Big Ten. And I think we proved it this weekend. And just that win over Minnesota, like, sealed the deal.
And then lastly, Bella, you guys get a weekend off in between these 2 weekends in Florida before you go back down to Leesburg to play Northwestern and Rutgers. What does this time in between those 2 weekends look like for Indiana, and maybe some adjustments or things to work on in the meantime?
Well, thinking about what we need to work on, I think that we need to clean up our defense a little bit. I think that we had some high pressure situations where our defense was a little bit out of whack, and that's okay, right? First weekend. But I think that throughout this next week, we're going to work a lot on those defensive reps, right? But also I think it's just keeping the same mindset, right? So I think that, you know, for me, I'm like, I want to play again. You know, I just want to get right back into it. But I actually think that it's good for our team that we have this week to work out a little bit of the kinks that we did see. And so it's just a time to get really good reps and get ready to go. Northwestern is always a contender in the Big Ten, and we proved that we can, you know, do it with Minnesota. And I have full confidence that we are the contenders of the Big Ten, right? Like, I see us winning the Big Ten this year. And so just keeping that same mindset and going into next week and knowing that we can beat anyone when we're on our A game. So
Indiana off to a 4-2 start. Northwestern and Rutgers next weekend. Bella and Amber, thanks so much. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Connor.
Thanks.